Hi, this is Dean Bushmiller with Expanding Security, and this is Privacy Laws and Regulations. If you're not seeing the full version of this, go to expandingsecurity.com. You can also get quizzes, badges, and this mind map with all the dynamic links in it. So let's get started. Privacy laws and regulations are not a lot of fun most of the time. As technology professionals, as security professionals, we've got other projects that we need to take care of, and now we need to go ahead and take care of the end users. Now, before we get into this, I just want to be really clear. I'm not an attorney. I do not play one on TV, and any legal advice that you see me giving here is a lie. Or no, it's not appropriate for me to give legal counsel. So check with your legal team to see what's going on with you. Everybody has to deal with this. You're going to have to deploy controls due to those privacy demands by the regulating organizations. It's just going to happen to you. Don't fight it. And a lot of people will say, well, I really don't want to do this. And the technologists say, I really don't want to do this. And governance people say, I really don't want to do this. Don't fight it. Just learn what you need to do. Now, when you need to do this, okay, and most of the time people say ASAP. And yes, it is ASAP, but it stands for a different thing. It's as soon as policy. And that's the key here. If there is not a written policy for this thing, do not do it. There are a whole bunch of reasons why, from a litigation standpoint, to protect your organization. If there's no policy and you have a control, there's this inequity inside of there, and that causes lots of problems. So just don't do that. Now, also, this presentation doesn't cover the cybersecurity laws and regulations, the bigger picture there for process and procedure. We're really focusing in on the laws here and how to get this done within your organization. We're also not going to cover payment card industry, and we're not going to cover personal health information. Again, those are in our different videos. So what laws are we going to cover? Well, GDPR, California Consumer Privacy Act, GLBA, Sarbanes-Oxley, FISMA, Fair Credit Reporting, Privacy Act, and COPA. Pretend that you have to follow all of these laws based upon the scope of coverage, the breadth of obligations, enforcement mechanisms, and your overall operational workload. That's how you have to put it in place. So you're going to have to do this. It's going to be in place. And you're going to do multiple privacy requirements. It's going to happen to you. So how do you make compliance work well when you've got to comply with multiple overlapping things? Take the most restrictive first. And the rest will most likely automatically be followed. So then what's the most restrictive? Well, again, you might not have to follow all of these, but let's pretend that you have to follow every single one of these. The most restrictive is going to be the GDPR on this end, and the least restrictive is the COPA. Again, it has to apply to you. So for instance, if you're not let's say that you are a global organization that sells to children, okay? That would be the worst case. But you don't sell to governments, and you're not a military contractor. So you would cross out on here, you would cross out probably FISMA, and you'd probably cross out FCRA. And so you just cross those out, but you still put them in the same order, and that gets you where you need to be. What we need to know and what we're trying to achieve here is, how bad will it be if we don't do it? Because somebody's going to ask that question. Hey, could we ignore this? How bad could it be? We're going to answer that question. And then also, if we do it, what's the workload going to be like? What kind of controls do we need to put in place? What are the things that we're going to forget? And how much is this all going to cost us if we're in that business? And sometimes we might say, hey, through mergers and acquisitions, we're going to acquire that property, but you know what? We're not going to, because we have to deal with more privacy, and we really don't want to. And then you have to figure out all these controls that you have to put in place in the right order. And that's what we're going to try and do.